going to do videos a little bit differently today. As you see on the screen, you have the FRQ from a few days ago. It was also from 2017's AP Human Geography test. Before we do that, a little bit of information about the AP exam that we now have. It's now been released. You'll probably be getting an email from AP about this, College Board. But AP Human Geography exam will be on May the 12th. That's Tuesday, May the 12th in the afternoon. You'll take it from home. Also, what we know about the exam, it's going to be 45 minutes. Actually, your exam period is going to be 40 minutes because you're going to have one FRQ, you get 15 minutes to complete, and another one you'll have 25 minutes to complete. We know that. They also have told us that they have put in all kinds of technology software to prevent plagiarism, where you would copy something from a website, a textbook, or that you somehow communicated with somebody else. They have stuff that they're able to detect, whether it's your language or not. So that is something they definitely wanted us to share. One thing that I wanted to share that I'm most concerned about is that while they do have a timer on this exam, and the timer will show you how much time you have left, the timer will not stop you. And so if you go beyond the appointed time, then none of your exam counts. So you have to stop yourself and submit your test before the time runs out. That's going to be a huge thing. They're telling us they will send us practice so that we can simulate this sometime in the next few weeks. But May the 12th is the test date. If you have questions, let me know. We're getting more information today. An email is coming out that's going to be sent down so we can share more with you. But we do want to go over this FRQ that you see on the screen here. Kind of doing my home studio version today. But 2017, right away when you see this FRQ, you guys are supposed to do this a few days ago. If you haven't yet, you need to do it and then come back and watch this. Rates of natural increase in 2014. This is a choropleth map shaded in colors. And they give you the natural increase rates, which if you look right over here, okay, if you look down here, you know what that converts to. Birth rate minus death rate, move the decimal. You, in my opinion, should know this stuff without having a map. But they're giving you the map, so use the map. But I think you should know it without having the map. All right, so you've got that information, so you know right away they're asking me about natural increase. Now, what else are they asking me to do? Well, I go down to my questions. There we go. All right, so it says the map show rates of natural increase in human population, and then it says identify the world region on the map with the highest rate of natural increase. Again, you don't need that map to know that answer. That answer obviously is sub-Saharan Africa. They did accept West Africa. They did accept Central Africa. They even accepted Africa. But I think the best answer is sub-Saharan or maybe Central Africa. B, so that's just one sentence done quickly. So you know right away I can be done quickly with that when you read it. Now, I want to go back. You should have read all of these parts before you started. B says, using the region identified in Part A, explain 3 factors that contribute to high population growth rate. Now, you know what's happening in demographic transition that causes high population growth. High population growth is caused by high birth rates and lowering death rates, which means a big gap. But when it says 3 factors, that means that you need to talk about the things that cause the birth rates to be high and cause the death rates to be dropping. Guys, this is the difference in some of you doing excellent on this FRQ and doing so-so. All right? So a factor is the things that cause something. They cause the model to be where it is in that stage. So, for example, a factor, and it does say explain. B part is the gold mine here we got to get better at, I think. It says explain. So if you just say women are having kids for workers, all right, technically speaking, I don't know they give you credit for that. You need to use 2 or 3 sentences explaining how these are mostly poorer families who are working on farms, who see kids as laborers and therefore have a lot of kids for that purpose. Guys, that's an explanation. Not kids for workers. That's not an explanation, okay? Some of you, and we know that there's no secret, you can find the answers to a lot of these questions online. If you are doing that and all you're doing is putting in those to get counted on a point, which is not even a grade right now, on AP Classroom, you are hurting yourself. I urge you and I beg you to quit doing it. All right? You need to see, what do I know, so we can fix what we don't, and you need to work on explaining. Because I'm going to tell you, if they're going to give you an open note test like this, and they say explain, if it was me, I wouldn't hardly even grade the factor part. I would totally grade the explanation part. If you didn't explain, it don't matter if your information's right, it's wrong. That's what I would do. So I'm going to get tougher on that on your stuff. If you don't explain, if you leave some little bullet-like answer on explain, no credit. Right? Now, that is a good point as far as women needing or families needing workers. That works, but you got to explain it. You also might explain it. They don't have a lot of medical care, so a lot of kids die. And so in order to make up for the kids dying to have these big families, they have more kids. Notice that would take about 3 sentences. It's an explanation. Next, we also could do the death rate falling. Better medicine has come into play. People are living longer. Life expectancy is increasing. So therefore, the population growth rate increases because the death rate is falling. That's 3 of multiple possibilities. You could also talk about a lack of women's education, which means they're more in the home. You could talk about cultural beliefs, religion about having large families, and I'll use that right there on B part. Okay? But again, I'm shouting it to you. Explain, describe, quit giving me short answers. And apparently some people aren't watching the videos enough because they're not responding in an FRQs either on that. Some of us are. Some of us are doing pretty good on it. Some of us are not. C, describe one economic incentive that a country with a high population growth rate could use to decrease population growth and identify one potential impact. Now, we need to define the word incentive. Incentive and disincentive are opposites of each other. An incentive is a reward. A disincentive is like a punishment. So this must be some type of economic reward that the government may put in place so that women would not have as many kids. Like saying, we're going to pay you this much a month if you have less than 3 kids. Or we're going to offer reduced college education for your kids, or reduce this education. Anything that is a reward look, that would count. And again, describe it. So you need to describe the policy, not just list it like, oh, that'd be where they give money to them. That's wrong. Okay? Describe it. And then one potential impact, the easiest way to do that is if especially poorer families are given the economic incentives, their birth rates may begin to fall, and that's a potential impact. All right? And all you have to do on the impact is identify. So that can be a short answer. At least a short sentence. D, describe one social program or policy that a country with a high population growth could use to decrease population growth and identify a potential impact of this strategy. Now, social means it affects everyday society. This can include political stuff because political laws influence society. So the one-child law or something like it, an anti-natalist policy, can be used here, but again, you need to describe how the policy might be put in play. That a government says if you have more than 2 kids, then we are going to fine you this much amount, or we're going to take away this, benefit that you have. And then the impact of that strategy might be that birth rates or fertility rates go down. But other social strategies could be a big education about birth control. And again, you need to go through the process of how that might take place as far as them sending it out to, maybe clinics and doctors and schools and television ads and marketing and propaganda. Any of those things work. This is an FRQ that 1, 3, 2, and 2, 8-point FRQ, that the whole country is going to get quite a few points on an FRQ like this, guys. So if we get a 4 or 5, I did okay. Really, you didn't. Okay? We need a 6 or better on an FRQ like this to make any ground. And if this is the kind of FRQ we have on May the 12th, that's what kind of performance we need. All right? So that is this FRQ. We will be reviewing some others. I may even put up some review videos over the weekend. We're not going to do any new content over the weekend, but maybe some review of some of these other FRQs if some of you want to get ahead and watch that. We do have some new information coming today. A little bit of new content, not a lot, and that'll be coming up shortly.